Since our last show, I think before that we had just re-signed Pennel and Tershawn Wharton. Since then, we brought back Derrick Nnadi. So Chiefs have dedicated pretty much most of this free agency period to retaining our own players. Since we last met, we brought back Derrick Nnadi. And some fans are scared that the re-signing of Nnadi, Pennel, and Wharton means that the Chiefs won't make any more changes to the DT rotation next to Chris Jones, which is something I'm starting to fear as well. JD, do you feel that they are running it back with the same DT rotation? And why would that be a mistake?
Okay. Funny, Marcus. Why would it be a mistake? All right. I don't. Okay. I like that we re-sign these guys. Okay. All right. I'll say that first. These guys came in. They did a very good job. Was very capable to come in and play. I've said this in the past few years, is that we needed somebody more complimentary to Chris Jones when he goes out to give you a little bit of what he gives you, okay? And the reason I say that is, if you look at productivity, and the same thing, I went to PFF and to see how you rated these guys that played right beside Chris Jones, and you see that the rate is not that high, all right? This is not my grading, this is PFF. I'm just using this my evaluation as a player and as a coach, all right? And so when I see sometimes that we may lag a little bit, maybe against our run defense, which affects our linebackers because Nick Bolton wasn't rated that high. Well, part of it might be, maybe up front we weren't doing a good job, stopping some of the rushing that we were getting up the middle, okay? That's where you can attack us. When you're getting double teaming Chris, the guy that's playing the guy that's playing beside him has to do an incredible job. He's got to be a monster. He's got to be a monster. Where these guys played in spurts, some of that show flashes of it. I need a more consistent guy, okay? Also, too, maybe one of these young guys we might get in the draft. I hope we'll address this in the draft because these deals weren't long-term deals either. So we're looking for a long-term answer. If Chris is going to be here for the next 5 years, we know right now that we had to have a young guy that's going to come in and be an absolute beast, okay, that's going to help out. And so if you're missing somebody like Charles Menahu, who's going to be out a few games, who was able to come in and take some of those at defensive tackle, which he did a good job. He was able to get some push. Crazy talent doing that. And I loved it. I loved it so much. We need to get another guy in here too, okay, that's going to be able to compete. Because we do need that complementary piece, all right? I've said this is about getting better, right? It's not about remaining the same. It's about getting better, okay? And I do think that play in the inside interior line, defensive line, we need to get better at that position, okay? Other than just Chris Jones, all right? This is my opinion. This is JD's opinion, okay? But this is also other people's opinion too that watch the game, all right? And not say anything bad about these guys other than, they've given us something, right? So my thing is these guys are going to compete. Well, shoot, they're going to compete against somebody who's coming in to try to take their jobs, take their snaps. So I do believe the defensive tackle group needs to get better. Right there, the 90 play has declined. I'd rather win in a different direction. Love signing Pennel, though. I like Pennel, too. I think he did well. He came on the end of the season because we signed him at the end. It took some time to get him acclimated, getting in. Dickerson, I thought, was going to be a guy when he first came in and he showed flashes, but then all of a sudden it just tailed off. I'm just like, man, come on. We need to see some more, more up front. And I was almost demanding that week after week after week. And then Derrick Nnadi would show up, do a couple things. So I was like, bravo, that's what you need to do. But it needs to be more consistent. Need consistency there. And so when Chris goes out, everybody like, man, I'll take the mantle. Somebody got to raise their hand like, man, I'm going to be that guy. Now it's time for me to go be out and wreck the shop up, okay? So if offenses are looking, when Chris Jones are out, they're going to run the ball directly where he was. That's what they were doing. I seen this, Marcus. I'll start watching what offenses were doing against us. I was watching it. And they was like, look, Chris is in. If he's in the game, we're going to run away from him. If he's out of the game, we're going to run straight to him where he was at. Okay? Why not take advantage of it? This is the scouting report. That's the scouting report's going to be happening. That's what's going to be said. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. So my thing is, I think we need to definitely address this in the draft. I do. And I think it needs to be one of the top 4 picks that we make, if not 3. So
I'm with you. I think 2 years in a row of deep in the playoffs or deep for a playoff push. 2 years ago, we went and got Brandon Williams. That was towards the end of the season. And then this past year, we bring back Mike Pennel. Yeah, Pennel was already a part of the system and stuff, but we brought him back. I don't want to keep, and also all 1-year deals. And then Omenahu, forget the fact that he's going to miss half the season. It was only a 2-year deal. So this is his last year coming up here. With 2 year, $14 million, whatever it was. This is his last season. So that DT room, and he's a DTDN, but that DT room for the most part, outside of Chris Jones, are all 1-year deals. And I think it's just high time we finally do that. We finally bring in a D tackle. Just all 1-year guys, and and I do like the Pennel signing. I like the way we're bringing. I like the depth, but it's just not enough.
Depth is one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Depth is one thing. Talent, okay, efficiency, effectiveness is another, right? And I said this is all about getting better. You want to be able to address getting better, okay? And the same thing with Mike Edwards being gone. Jamari Thomas is there. We see, okay, there's somebody that's there, right? Can replace it. Gay is gone. Well, guess what? We had Drew, Tranquil was able to, come in and replace those things. So there was able to replace guys with guys that was capable to do what they were able to do, who was out there on the field, right? Cook is going back as far as safety, defensive tackle. We can't keep wearing Chris out. If you want to get your money's worth for Chris for the 5 years, paying him $33 million or whatever, however much he's making, 40 or 50 million, whatever he's making. Okay, making a lot of money. Keep him fresh. And the only way you can be able to keep him fresh is make sure he's not just getting double teamed by everybody. Don't do it. Have somebody come in and take some of those hits off of him, right? He's getting paid a whole lot of money to do double teams and stuff, but you make sure that the guy that's next to him is wrecking shop. Yeah. So that way you make him pay for the double team. Because you can have a guy that's one-on-one, he's the guy that's killing you. Okay? Let me just be playing with it. It's going to be playing. So let's not wear out Chris Jones. Let's not wear out our linebackers. I don't want to see no more guys getting pushed back 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, because to me, that's just crazy. All right? I hate seeing it. I guarantee when they watch it in the films, it's unacceptable. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable in the NFL, period. Point blank, right? So them guys will tell you that too. So.
Yeah, Jerome, I think Turk has improved and has more attack mode with Cullen. Yeah, I will say Turk Wharton, all right. I think at this point, JD, I think I'm more willing to give Turk McBride a second chance in Kansas City.
Look, not saying the guy didn't get better. I'm talking about a plug and play guy immediately right now. That when he's jumping off the screen to you, all right. We need somebody almost synonymous with Chris Jones to say, "Oh man, is it Chris? Hey, Chris, who is that?" That's the guy we need. That's the guy that we need. So,
yeah, and there's plenty of guys in this draft. The one guy I'm excited about is what we talked about before, and I did a mock draft the other day, was Chris Jenkins Jr. I would love to have him right next to Chris Jones. You're talking about a young guy who has the DNA of to know what it is to be a D tackle in the league at a high level. I mean, come on,
yes, sir. I think we address the D line in our first 3 picks. I think we have to. I do. I think it has to be that important for us, okay? Because that gets us better. It gets our defense better. We talk about defenses win championships. Get this guy. And if we decide to keep Sneed and go ahead and get the 19, let him sign, our defense is going to be that much better. Now you're sitting over there, you got the run defense that you need. Now you got the type of pressures that you need getting at the quarterback. A stellar D line will kill everything. Okay? And you're gonna be missing a minute who? Come on, man. So, Artist Chief, what's going on, man? What's happening with you?
There's the man of the hour.
My guy. Corey, what's going on, brother? So yeah, Scott, man, I'm passionate, man, because I'm a coach and I'm a player, and when I see things that on screen, I can't not see them. All right, I can't just think, well, these things, it's gonna be all right. No, you got to address it. You got to address these things. Okay. Wide receiver, D tackle, O tackle, first 3 picks. I agree with you. Right right there with you. Exactly.
How would you do it in that order, or how would you prioritize just BPA at that position per each pick? So whoever's rated higher on their board from receiver, DT, OT in that first as it gets to our pick.
Well, I'll say this. Oh man, if you have, I'll tell you what. If you got an offensive tackle and you're not happy with Wanye, and I think it's maybe some questions there. Okay, from the Chiefs, I think it's where they are. They may go offensive tackle if a guy's there. Okay, if a guy's there. I like the first 5 guys. It was like the 5 guys from last year. If you look at them, they didn't do well. Those guys did a good job. Shoot, what's the name? Scorpion went down to Tennessee. Shoot, he playing guard. So, but there's some different guys this year at tackle. You can go probably wide receiver 2nd round because there's a whole lot of them. There's a bevy of great wide receivers out there. One of my favorites, I got my favorite. Marcus got his favorite. And then get a D-line, I think maybe the 3rd pick. I do believe you could probably get a guy 3rd pick that's going to be able to come in and wreck shop. That's why I look at it. So it changes for me, wide receiver, when you go in the 3rd round, it changes a little bit for me, okay? Because if we're thinking Hollywood Brown for 1 year, we don't know what that's going to look like. If he goes somewhere on the market, gets another thing, we're looking for a guy to be here for another 4 years, 5 if we'll. So that's how I look at it, right? Build around what you got. You got Rashid Rice. You're going to have him get another wide receiver that's going to be here for a long time. So they could be the dynamic duo or trio if it's Hollywood Brown. So,
yeah, and I'm not hoping the Drew Tranquil kind of vibe kind of continues with guys who play an improve it year deal and then they like it so much they want to stay. And based on everything he's saying so far, it sounds like we might be headed in that direction. But hopefully the season works out for him and he hits all his marks.
Reality is, man, Marcus, we can't pay everybody. Just can't. There's going to be some names next year that we're going to have to let walk because we just can't pay everybody.
That's true. Well, and that's where it comes in where it's like, okay, what if they go the offensive guard? Because I've seen some mock drafts, people saying go offensive guard and say, because Trey Smith's free agent next year, and you got Tooney who's making a lot. And I don't know. I don't know if he comes off the book next year or 2 years from now. But I mean, there you go. That's the position right there. You don't have to pay out of the pocket. You have your rookie contracts with the offensive guard positions.
Joe Tooney is one of the top rated guards in the league.
Yeah, well, that's why you replace Smith then, and you keep him in.
I know we're talking ahead, but we sure. Yeah. And then you can still do restructures and whatnot. You just don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot there. So
I know a lot. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.